Итак, всем доброго времени суток, уважаемые зрители, с вами alekszov, и мы продолжаем играть в Genshin, и наконец-то спустя большое количество времени продолжим проходить основную сюжетку с архонтами. Потому что оно повыходило уже довольно-таки давно все. Я первые две главы прошел, а уже вышла и третья, и четвертая, и, не знаю, может быть пятая. Не знаю, сколько их здесь, там уже и новый босс еженедельный, которого я еще не фармлю. Короче, много всего я пропустил. И сейчас мы будем понемногу это нагонять. Попробуем, по крайней мере. Благо, ивент я на этот раз закрыл основной не в последний момент, в кои-то веки. Ну и... что? С Лизой тоже я закрыл ивент. Здесь... Озвучка была, конечно, в квесте, но тут квест такой был весьма коротенький. Мы пришли, поговорили, все как давно не виделись, все хорошо. Теперь надо ее где-то встречать в качестве NPC по различным заведениям или еще где в городе Сумеру. Но я пока ее нигде не встретил. Посмотрим, буду выкладывать я или не буду. Я вроде записал, не знаю, он не то чтобы какой-то сюжетный, с кучей сюжета или еще какой-то интересной информации, поэтому я думаю, его можно пропустить. Ну ладно.
Ad Astra Abyssosque. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for us today?
Commissions, huh? Let me think. Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say what now?
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finishing the poem.
Это Нахида прикалывается.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. It appears that you're not interested in this commission. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better.
I'm sure the mercenaries will have some interesting reactions as well.
Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the Adventurers Guild?
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often. Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head? From when she said, Ad Astra Abyssosque? So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida? Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival, except it was a happy one.
Опять сон про про Саблерус. Сабзерус. Сука. Какое слово.
In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. I also got to sit on a gigantic flower carriage. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, raised me really, really high above the ground, and I was throwing an endless amount of Yalda candies at the children. You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zero's festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your birthday. Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homiyanis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to check on her.
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since alekszov is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own withering.
Если честно, я уже вообще... Я так давно за сюжетку не брался, что я нахрен забыл, что такое Элизар, Ирминсуль и прочая херня. Не, ладно, Элизар, я, допустим, еще что-то помню. Там что-то на теле чешуйки появляются, да? Вроде бы как. Плюс это, по-моему, как-то связано еще с вот этой Мараной. Ара Марана, или, блять, как оно, сука, называется? Я нихуя не помню, если честно, вообще. Я уже все забыл. Поэтому, как бы, да. Я, кстати, квесты с аранарами толком так не прошел. Там, по-моему, половину прошел и все. Дальше тоже как-то не пошло.
Our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Хотя если бы с аранарами все было озвучено, было бы гораздо интереснее проходить.
Right.
Ну да ладно.
Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the Sub-Zero's festival?
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Паймон, ты привлекаешь много лишнего внимания. Сны, пустота и обман. Я, кстати, не помню, с какой главы там открывается... Да, далеко мы ушли, конечно. С какой главы там открывается Скоромуча босс? Вряд ли с третьей, по-моему, или с четвертой, наверное.
Let's continue our chat here.
Как будто здесь меньше народу.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts.
Мне нравится последний вариант.
We're in the dark as of now. Since we still don't know anything about their goals, any rash move could tip them off and lead to terrible consequences. After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages. No way, that's too risky.
You mean it'd be too easy to get caught?
No, it's not that. We shouldn't involve innocent students in this. A single mistake could completely ruin their lives. Doing that would be ignoring the safety of my people for my own selfish goals. How is that any different from what the sages are doing?
That's a good point. Spoken like the god of Sumeru.
I've already tried that, but all the key members of the academia, even the core 30 guards, intentionally avoid wearing their Akasha terminals.
Вот хитрожопые мрази. Сами-то не носят эту хуйню на ухе.
It seems that from the very beginning, they've been guarding against info leaks from the Akasha. Of course, it could also be because they're wary of me.
Have you already caught the sage's attention?
I'm guessing not yet, but distrusting me would make perfect sense if they've ever paid attention to the urban legends about me. In any case, I probably can't take over their minds directly.
Давайте позовем дракона из Манштата и сожжем нахуй все. Что нам зря горящее дерево показывали в кошмарах Калеи где-то в трейлере. Мы же его и сожжем. Хотя тут не то чтобы дерево, тут такой уже отросток от дерева скорее оставшийся, на котором город построили.
Are we really out of ideas? Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't keep us in suspense. Spill the beans already.
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will give more weight to the actual proposal.
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
Кто бы это мог быть? Вопрос хороший. Против мудрецов, не знаю, ну, танцовщица вот эта. Я уже забыл, как ее зовут. И, возможно, тот черт, который спиздил знания какие-то там о божестве пустыни. Блять, как их всех зовут? Я уже забыл даже, как персонажей зовут. Ладно, персонажи Аль-Хайтам. Вроде он. Да, Аль-Хайтам. Он просто недавно был в баннере. Поэтому его я еще немного помню. Он, по идее, против Академии должен быть. А так больше на ум никто не приходит.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? That does sound like it could work.
Не, вопрос даже не в этом. То есть мы привлечем еще одного товарища со стороны. А чем он нам поможет-то? Ну хотя ладно, если он местный, то в принципе он может помочь. Это я не местный, поэтому мне сложно будет что-то здесь провернуть. А ему будет полегче.
Oh, before coming back, we met someone named alekszov. He seems like he
Вот,
acts
да.
alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Sataria?
Это кто? Вообще нет. Мы с такой вообще пересекались? Сетария. Сетария. Не помню такой вообще.
Aria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sage of the Academia?
Помощница мудреца? Чего?
We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. You could even say we're old enemies by now.
Окей, хорошо, допустим.
Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way she always spoke to Nilu.
I've always liked observing all kinds of people. She was born in the desert and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Sataria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling light. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many disasters. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up part of the night sky? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Sataria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right? She's just running away from her problems.
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed anymore. She's suppressing a lot of guilt, but before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny her part in their schemes anymore.
Вопрос лишь в том, согласится ли она пойти против них.
Right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, but she can also use it as an opportunity to redeem herself. From my past observations, Sataria will take a day off from the academia every 10 days to do some shopping in the city.
Каждые 10 дней? Выходной раз в 10 дней? Пиздец. Я бы не смог. Вот вообще. Мне 5 дней отработать от выходных до выходных, это уже напряжно. Если 2 недели подряд работать, это вообще ад. 10 дней, блин, отпахать и все ради одного выходного, ну его нахрен.
Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. That'll be our chance. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite spots and have a quick chat with a few of the vendors there.
Окей. Давай посмотрим, что из этого получится. Блин, Нахиду не удалось выбить. Вот это обидно. Нахиду, Нилу. О, кстати, вспомнил, как танцовщицу зовут. Только.
This should be Sataria's favorite fortune-telling spot.
So should we ask the fortune teller about Sataria?
No, I already have enough information on Sataria. The most important thing now is for you to pay attention to the vendor's talking style and key characteristics.
Talking style and key characteristics?
Ты будешь вселяться вот в этих продавцов и прочих владельцев различных магазинов и заведений для того, чтобы пародировать их манеру речи и ключевую информацию, выдавая себя за других людей, чтобы тем самым попытаться ее убедить в чем-то, в том, что нам нужно.
My poor lost lambs, have you become troubled over your fates? The divine voice of wisdom often echoes between mine ears. If thou be blessed today by the gods, I may be able to show you the way.
Ты не слишком мала для предсказателя, а, девочка?
Huh? Really? Nahida, you've been whispering things to her?
Shh! My friend here has some doubts regarding her future. Can we get a fortune reading for her?
Of course, of course. In that case... It would seem that Harut and Marut are quite wary of you. Perhaps, at some time in the past, you have somehow offended the gods.
Да не то, чтобы оскорбить, ну подумаешь, с одним архонтом подрался. Она в целом-то так-то... Хотя нет, даже я не с ней дрался, а с куклой. Хотя нет, с ней тоже дрался. Но не то, чтобы обидел, мы вроде бы друзья.
Only mocking the god of Animo, questioning the lord of Geo's financial savviness, and brawling with the god of Electro. Do those count?
А, ну если так, то да. А когда ты объедала Геархонта? По-моему, только он нас объедал, нет? Это же у него вечно денег нету.
Hmm?
Такого ответа она не ожидала, да?
Oh, nothing. Go on, pick an aspect for her to divine.
На здоровье. Нафиг
Health
нам не нужна
prospects.
ваша любовь вот
No
это вот.
problem at all.
Оу. Не, Сереж, ты слишком мелкая для гадания или вообще для чего-либо.
The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed.
Вопрос, с какими внешними богами ты общаешься? С селестианцами? Или с космосом? Я не знаю.
Your life shall continue on for many tens of thousands of years. Impossible.
Да чё, нет. Я и так уже живу, сколько там... Сколько я живу вообще? Я еще жила, блэд, при этом, когда КНРиахцы еще там что-то мутили. Поэтому времени прошло много. И еще столько же проживу.
Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
Либо мне кто-то свыше не даст умереть. Наложат на меня это проклятие бессмертия, как на этого, как его... Дейнслейфа. И тоже буду жить вечно.
Actually, Paimon thinks this is probably the most accurate fortune telling you've ever done.
I admit that the orientation of today's celestial matrix is suboptimal. As such, there will be no charge.
Могу познакомить тебя с еще одной предсказательницей. Мона зовут. В Манштате обитает. Я думаю, вам найдется о чем погадать друг другу.
Is that so? Well, that can't be helped.
Заодно научишь ее, как деньги зарабатывать. Хотя, бля, мы ж были у нее дома, и у нее там куча дорогущих книг всяких, и это. Так что она только на первый взгляд кажется нищей. А на самом деле у нее есть деньги.
If you were to bring some food offerings for Harut and Marut on your next visit, perhaps they could help you reverse the wheels of fate.
Вопрос, а зачем мне менять свою судьбу? Ты мне нагадала, что я буду жить еще очень-очень много тысяч лет. Зачем мне что-то менять? С другой стороны, это, конечно, жить так долго, это пытка уже прям беспощадная, но не похуй, я бессмертный. Или в данном случае бессмертная. Ладно, куда дальше? Что ты за дичь
Is
будешь
this
нам втирать?
another one of Sataria's favorite stalls?
Yep, it belongs to a king. His father helped Sataria a lot when she first moved to Samari City, so she still comes by whenever she has time. When I start talking with him, listen carefully to the details of our conversation.
Ah, dear customers, would you like to look at some pottery?
We caught wind of your great craftsmanship, so we specifically came to take a look.
Oh, I recognize you. Aren't you Miss Catherine from the Adventurers Guild? Sounds like I'm in for some big business.
Speaking of, where did you learn this trade?
I suppose you could say it all started with my dad. He's a mason by trade, but I picked up an interest in clay while apprenticing for him. After that, I began making pottery by myself in secret, and I simply changed trades when my works turned out well. Although it's a pity that I'm no longer making much use of the knowledge provided to me by the Akasha.
That's nice. You're making a living doing something you love.
So is your father still working as a mason?
Oh no, not anymore. A few years back, he fell from a roof and broke his leg. Since he had already saved enough mora over all these years, he's just enjoying the retired life in Port Ormos nowadays.
I see. We wish him peace and happiness in his retirement. I'll have someone in charge of logistics at the guild come by another day for some goods. We'll leave you to it.
No problem. Rest easy, all our goods are sure to meet your every need.
Окей, я попытался что-то запомнить, но, если честно, я не уверен, что нас вообще будут что-то спрашивать до такой степени. Не, хотя что, один раз в этом в порту спрашивали, когда мы пытались пройти к Дори.
This should be our final stop. Setaria is always thinking of this restaurant when she's working at the academia, so she always comes by whenever she's out in the city.
Nahida, you've really thought of everything.
It's my duty to protect Sumeru's citizens, after all.
Hi there. I feel like I've seen you down by the docks before.
Huh? Sorry, I don't quite remember.
If I recall, you were having a discussion with someone about shipbuilding at the time.
Ah, that's right! I've always been really interested in feats of marine engineering. After all, I grew up in Liyue Harbor and spent my entire childhood staring at the ships going in and out of the port. I came to Sumeru to study, but failed to make it into the academia due to my lack of talent. But I'm still discussing all kinds of problems with different scholars, and I'm continuing to study and perform research from the restaurant's basement. I'm sure I'll get into the academia after their next round of exams.
What an admirable spirit for learning. Amazing.
Вопрос, это академия и единственное учебное заведение на все регионы или как? Или самое престижное? Нет, то, что, наверное, самое престижное, это да. Но просто, если честно, в других регионах как-то не встречались какие-то учебные заведения. В Монштадте, допустим, есть библиотека, но это не то. Ладно, я, кажется, иду куда-то не туда. Лишними вопросами лучше не задаваться.
Sure, but you'll find hardworking people wherever you go.
So this restaurant has a basement as well? Huh. First I've heard of it.
That's right. It's not usually open to patrons. Most of the time, employees use it for breaks or to hold private events.
I see. Guess that makes sense. Well, good luck with your studies, Miss Chishan.
Thank you so much. As long as I can make it into the academia as an official student, I'll be happy.
Эх, кто-то стремится учиться. А я свое уже отмучился. И так ничего не научился. Ладно, чему-то, может, и научился, но... Что-то я чему-то не тому учился
So, was that
все это
everybody?
время.
familiar faces should be enough for Sataria.
What's the point of all the information we've collected? Nahida, you still haven't told us how you're planning to make Sataria face her problems.
Пайман, я ж тебе вначале все объяснил.
Sataria is already used to avoiding her problems, so we must find a way to break through her usual sensibilities. I remember you mentioned that the Eremites in Port Ormuz are all making a fuss about the upcoming resurrection of King Deshret. Although it's all just a boatload of nonsense, the faith of her homeland may turn out to be Sataria's soft spot.
А почему чушь? Типа, он же ж тоже вроде как... Он тоже был каким-то архонтом или нет? Ну, архонтом, божеством местным или еще чем-то таким. Или просто правителем. Если просто правителем, то да, это чушь. А если каким-то божеством... А если мы говорим о пустыне, то это там всякие фараоны, египетские боги и прочее, всякое вот это вот. И то, скорее всего, там тоже какой-то местный бог, и почему он не может переродиться? Ты ж переродилась.
Oh, Paimon gets it now. You want to take advantage of the guilt Sataria feels about her homeland.
Хотя ладно, не все архонты перерождаются ж. По факту. Джунли не перерождался. Эй не перерождалась. И при этом она многих потеряла. Плюс война архонтов тоже многих забрала. И никто из древних не переродился. Ой, странно это все, короче, не знаю, все.
Although she knows she should return home to help the people of the desert, all she's done is conspire with the sages.
Возможно, это как-то где-то объяснялось, уже обговаривалось, упоминалось или еще что-то. Но я забыл. Вполне возможно.
So, how do we set that up?
Well, King Deshret is long gone, and Sataria is also too smart to fall for any simple tricks. If we simply engaged her under the guise of King Deshret's believers, she would definitely be wary of us, and we may not get anywhere. But if we were to borrow some of her close acquaintances to talk with her, her reaction would probably be very different.
So, you mean you're going to possess those people we just talked to?
Блин, Пайман, как же долго до тебя доходит?
Yep. Possess them through the Akasha. Imply they've already converted to the faith of King Deshret, and then convey our made-up will of King Deshret.
Звучит как бред. Давайте лучше пойдем воскресим этого Дешрета сами. Просто воскресим его, притащим сюда и промоем ей мозги напрямую.
As long as everything goes smoothly, we'll get through to Sataria for sure. She'll never guess that we had anything to do with it.
So that's how you're going to use all the info we collected on these people. It's so that you won't slip up and break form. Possessing them will only work if you can manage to pass off as them.
Это мне опять нужно будет выбирать правильные варианты и переигрывать по 10 раз.
Exactly. So, best of luck with impersonating them.
Huh? Best of luck? But we don't know how to possess anyone.
Нас сейчас научат.
That's no problem at all. I'll just share all their senses with you once I've possessed them. As long as you're also wearing an Akasha terminal, the effect will basically be as if you've possessed them yourself.
Я же говорю, нас научат.
Huh. That is pretty convenient. But what does she have to do this. Can't you do it yourself?
Although I've been observing humans for a while, I've never been good at imitating them.
You're not wrong. It's always been painfully obvious whenever you try to pass as Catherine.
Ну, как будто из нас лучше получится, подражатели. Ладно.
If it was at all possible, I would have preferred to leave these people alone. But seeing how things are now, I probably should just accept it and push on.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. We're only doing this to help everyone, and we'll only be borrowing them for a little while anyway.
Alright, then let's give it a go tomorrow afternoon.
Так, следующего дня. Ну давай.
Here she comes. Satori is here.
Let's quietly follow her. Once she starts talking to her acquaintances, we'll find a safe spot to begin possessing them.
Отличный план.
As for how we'll sway
Опять
her to our
stealth.
side, I'll leave that to you. I trust you'll know what to say.
Paimon's starting to feel kind of nervous. Okay, let's go.
Ну, учитывая то, что это провалить
Looks like
нельзя и
they've
в любом
already started
случае,
talking. Let's find a hiding spot and get started.
если что-то пойдет не так, придется переигрывать, то да. Чисто сталкеры, блять. Вообще без палева. Блин. Надо
That's
было...
right. You really can't force anything when it comes to love. And besides, everyone around me has a very different background and outlook.
Надо было у Моны взять пару уроков гадания. На всякий.
Are you still listening to me, Nabia?
Конечно, конечно.
Oh, of course I'm listening. You were talking about troubles with your love life, right? I heard everything you said.
Okay then. You just seemed a little distracted for a moment there.
Так, я котам не нравлюсь.
Strange. Your cats seem pretty worked up. Is something wrong?
Да, не покормила их сегодня.
I always thought they were quiet, happy kitties. Oh, what are their names again?
Блад, а вот этого я не запоминал. Харут и Марут, Харут и Тамрут. Обычно более правильный вариант, по-моему, в самом низу всегда. Хамру, блядь. Это проверочка, ё-моё. Я не помню, по-моему, Серьезно, я не помню. Хамру и Тамру. Хамру и Матру. Марут. Харут, Марут. Харут, Марут.
Ah, that's right. They are just little darlings, aren't they? Harut and Marut.
So, which fortune do you want me to read for you today? You must have come for another echo of the divine voice of wisdom.
I'd like to get another reading on my love prospects, but to be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I've been a real mess recently.
Вопрос, а чем сейчас занимается наше тело? Оно просто валяется или мы это как в трансе сейчас? в таком непонятном или без сознания валяемся где-то. Что происходит с нашим телом?
A mess?
Well, could you do a reading on how long it'll take me to finish my current project at work? I really just want to get it over with.
Через много тысяч лет.
I hear you. No problem at all. The gods will reveal the truth.
Так. Боги, а ну отвечайте. Алло, боги, прием. Охо-хо-хо-хо-хо-хо, боги, заговори. По-моему... Я не знаю.
The gods are asking. Sitaria, why haven't you gone home?
Почему ты еще не дома, Сетария?
Why haven't I gone home? Do the gods really know everything I've been thinking about?
Sitaria, why don't you just go home? It's a demand now instead of a question. The gods seem to be truly upset.
Это все этот ваш царь Демеш, Дифреш, кто он там, блядь, неважно.
I'm sorry. I know I failed the gods. Please pass on my most sincere apologies and ask for their divine forgiveness.
Вопрос. А с какими богами ты общаешься? Ну, типа, ваше местное божество — это Архонт. Ну, Нахида, то бишь. Да, или Кусанали, или... Неважно. У пустынников, он их там царь кто-то там. А с какими богами говоришь ты? Ладно, там Монат читает судьбу по звездам. А ты вот говоришь с богами. С какими? С селестианцами? Или еще с какими-то внешними? Я не знаю. С двумя пальцами? С золотым порядком?
And if I may ask, Nabia, is there a specific god who's speaking to you right now?
Я нихуя не понял.
What an inconsiderate and naive question. The god who is speaking to me is, of course, the wisest and mightiest of all, King Deshret.
Все-таки это она с Дешретом разговаривает. Ну, вернее, мы. Ну, мы притворяемся, ладно, а вот эта малявка-то на самом деле, по факту, с кем говорит? Или она просто придуривается? Мне кажется, она просто придуривается. И на этом бабки фармит. По-моему, отличный план.
King Deshret? No wonder he would make such a demand of me. Wait a second. King Deshret passed away a long time ago.
Ничего, возродим.
Even though news of King Deshret's resurrection has been spreading like wildfire, it's all just a misinformation campaign from the academia. How can King Deshret still exist in real life?
А так это еще и Академия распускает эти слухи.
What insolence! I am King Deshret's most loyal believer. Do you wish to refute his voice of wisdom?
Oh, no. As a child of the desert, I am only reveling in his power upon learning that his divine glory has touched even this city. I will think very carefully about his demand of me. I'm sorry, I must go now.
Wait!
А, управление перехватили. Она что-то подозревает. Такой взгляд был.
She just ran off in a hurry. She looked pretty upset too.
А, по-моему, нас спалили.
Well done. Sitaria didn't seem to suspect anything amiss.
А я думаю, что что-то заподозрила.
To have something she's been trying desperately to avoid show up out of nowhere and berate her, that must have shaken her to the core.
Aw, Nahida, it seems like you understand human emotions really well after all.
All I know are some abstract Haravatot theories. In any case, my time with you has shown a lot of them to be utterly useless. I'm still trying to make sense of everything. Anyway, enough of that. Let's hurry and catch up to Sitaria.
Но зато мы теперь знаем, что эти слухи про возрождение царя сама Академия и распустила. Возможно, они хотят возродить царя.
Right on cue. Let's get ready to possess him right away.
Опять стелс, да? А где нам прятаться? За вот этими опять? Я здесь. Ну, мы вообще, конечно, беспалевные, прям максимально. Так, имен я не помню, если что.
It's okay. I just got caught up in something. Oh, actually, didn't you ask me to help you look for work? What kind of work were you looking for again?
Камнетес? Камнетес, насколько я знаю. Причем тут садовник? А вдруг он хочет быть садовником? Вдруг он нам наврал? Камнетесом.
Oh, right. Your old man's craft. How could I forget? Speaking of, how's he doing? Is he feeling any better?
Я не знаю, насколько его отец отлично себя чувствует, но хорошо.
Huh? Wasn't he nursing a leg injury? If I recall correctly, his strong arms had always been his pride and joy.
А, в этом прикол. Я что-то как-то не подумал, что подымает. Ладно, это я тупанул.
He sprained his arm a while back while trying to show off his strength. I thought you'd heard.
Actually, while we're talking about him, is he still living in Port Ormos?
Yeah, he's been retired there for a while.
If you could find the time, please write him a letter. Let him know that recently, faith in King Deshret has taken root in Port Ormos and has begun to spread across Sumeru. He has a quick temper and has always been a devout follower of the Dendro Archon. I don't want him to get into a fight with those King Deshret believers because of a difference in beliefs.
Oh? So, who are you siding with in all of this? The Academia or King Deshret? I'm so jealous of you. You were born a child of the desert, yet you chose to betray King Deshret, and now you spend all your time with those crooks from the Academia.
Akeem, you don't mean you've also become a believer of King Deshret?
Конечно. Все Сумеру верит в царя Дешрета. В кого им еще верить, если не в него? В Академию?
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
Can't pick a side? Me?
Whoa! Paimon had no idea you'd be so good at this.
Не знаю, я бы не сказал, что она сильно похожа на того непися, ну да ладно.
You really zeroed in on the issue and put it right in front of her. It might feel a bit overwhelming for Sitaria.
Да, не нужно портить отношения между людьми.
But once everything is over, I'll be sure to pay her a visit to her mind and explain everything. Anyway, let's keep going.
Так, стелс.
Come on! Sataria's already started talking with Shishan!
So, Shishan, have you noticed anything weird in the city lately? Like, as if someone was trying to preach to you about something?
Да, эти, как их там, свидетели царя Дешрета. Так, вот тут не на чердаке, нет, в подвале.
Oh, right. Speaking of strange things, I celebrated the Sub-Zerus festival so many times that I lost count. That was really weird.
Wait, how could you be aware of that? That should be impossible. Nothing in the report indicated anything like that.
Так это был не сон?
Are you still failing to realize that the Academia's lowly tricks could never deceive all of Sumeru's citizens?
Shishan, don't tell me that you've converted to King Deshret as well.
А ты не веришь? Как ты можешь не верить?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret. In reality, shouldn't you be the one who is ashamed? You, who works side by side with the Academia and treated people as nothing more than experimental subjects.
Вот именно, если родная академия тебя использует как лабораторную крысу, то, блядь, в кого еще верить, если не в соседнего почившего царя?
Please, please stop!
Бля, мне нравится, давайте продолжим ее сводить с ума. Я хочу, чтобы она не просто там барьер эмоциональный там или какой разрушить ей, а просто психику ей нахуй уничтожить. Я добрый, я знаю.
Even now, Sataria's still trying to run from her problems.
She can no longer justify everything to herself.
Hey, she's trying to talk to the guards! What should we do?
Побежал за охранницей. Здесь в Сумеру слишком много верующих в царя Дешрета. Надо срочно очистить город.
This is the most important part of all. Quick, get ready.
Mercenary, you're a member of the Corps of 30, correct? Please help me pass a message to the Macho right away. The situation in the city is getting out of control.
Please, try to remain calm, miss. Tell me what's happening in the city.
Пошла жаловаться, что слишком много последователей царя пошло.
Heretics are infiltrating the city, and they've already converted many residents to their side.
Heretics? What kind of heresy are you talking about?
King Deshret! Many people I know have suddenly started believing in him, but he's long dead. It's impossible.
Miss Sataria, nothing is impossible.
Вот именно, нет ничего невозможного. Даже если он умер, мы его воскресим.
You know my name?
King Deshret is immortal, and all who defy him will one day pay the price. You must face the truth, Sataria. You tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become, and the deeper you will be ensnared. Child of King Deshret, never forget that the desert that belongs to you lies elsewhere.
What's so strange about becoming a believer of the wise King Deshret? In fact, aren't you the strange one? The one who still can't pick a side?
What an absurd question. You make it sound like I should be ashamed for becoming a believer of King Deshret.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Давай. Сломай ее психику нахуй.
It seems that no matter where I run, I only keep finding more believers of King Deshret. I have to say, this is a familiar feeling. I've also been running from my guilt this whole time. Guilt over my part in the sage's plans, and from ignoring the letters from the children of my homeland. But no matter how much I may try to ignore or get rid of it, my guilt always comes back.
You won't necessarily lose your research opportunities by facing the truth. Besides, did you really want to conduct your research while carrying such heavy feelings of guilt?
How do you know me so well? Are you truly just a believer of King Deshret? Or are you the god himself?
Я — это он. Мы все — это он. Он говорит через нас. Мы едины разумом.
That's not important. The important thing is to pass judgment on the academia and its sages, and to correct their mistakes. If you could provide some assistance in this matter, perhaps it could serve as a form of atonement.
I've actually never believed in the gods, but I've always believed in serendipity. Your appearance must be a fated opportunity for me to get out of this wretched situation.
Никогда не верила в божественные силы? И это при живых-то архонтах? Нихуя себе. Да ты богохульница.
Please tell me, what can I do for you?
Что ты можешь сделать? Не знаю, мне похуй, что ты можешь сделать. Я хочу дальше уничтожать твою психику просто. Я хочу свести ее с ума. Мне понравилось.
How much do you know about the sage's current activities?
I was just one of the designers for the massed dream harvest scheme, which is what happened around the Sub-Zero's festival. But I know very little about the full scope of the overall project. I'd assume that only staff with the highest clearance would have access to those confidential documents. I've just been working to meet the Grand Sage's specified requirements. However, there's something that's been really bothering me. I heard that a scholar who was previously expelled has returned to the city, and even the sages are still quite wary of him.
Давно отчисленный студент? Некогда отчисленный студент. Так, ну Лизу у нас не отчисляли, она по идее закончила академию, но не продолжила учиться. Ну, по крайней мере, закончила какой-то этап обучения, а дальше не захотела учиться. А это у нас, скорее всего, этот черт в маске, как его там забыл, не помню, Доторе, по-моему.
To fight against the academia, we will need to figure out the nature and the purpose of their work. Is there a way for us to get access to the confidential documents you mentioned?
И то не какой-то двоечник, то психопат. Ну или не психопат, а какой-то злой гений.
It should be possible if we're willing to take some risks. After all, I'm an assistant to the Grand Sage, and I've been working on many tasks outside of the project. One thing, though, I won't be able to transfer the documents to you through the Akasha once I get my hands on them. The sages have always closely monitored all activities within the Akasha.
Мы просто через тебя их прочитаем.
Let me see... let's use the most primitive method. Send someone to pick up the documents tomorrow evening at the Academia entrance.
The academia entrance. Wouldn't that be too conspicuous?
Don't worry about that. I assure you, this won't be a trap. I'm only suggesting this location because it'll draw more scrutiny for me to leave the Academia again. It'll be safest for me to distract the guards long enough to hand you the documents.
All right, I trust you.
So, If I were to successfully complete this task, would it mean I've atoned for my wrongdoings?
Если все получится.
That'll depend on the judgment of the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Archon. That's right. Her people are the ones we have endangered. As the god of wisdom, she's also the one responsible for judging and guiding the scholars. Maybe it's time for me to find a god to believe in.
То есть ты находишь... Хотя ладно, что я спрашиваю. Здесь, по-моему, никто в Дендро Архонта не верит.
Just as Nahida predicted, we've managed to bring Sataria to our side.
The Traveler's execution was ingenious. She's the one who deserves all the praise. Well, now that we've made plans to meet again tomorrow evening, all we can do is pray for Sataria's mission to go off.
Pray? But if we're going to pray to the gods, aren't we just praying to you? God of wisdom and guardian of the scholars?
No. The truth is the true guardian of scholars. I've always believed that. Anyway, let's meet again tomorrow evening at the Adventurers Guild.
Мне молиться истине? А это что еще такое? Я таких не знаю. Мне понравилось сводить ее с ума. Еще б чуть-чуть и можно было б... Ладно, неважно. На этом закончим тогда эту серию. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, комментируйте. И всем удачи, всем пока. До скорых встреч. Продолжим в следующих сериях нашу авантюру и посмотрим, во что это выльется дальше. Все, всем удачи, всем пока.